Good morning, everybody. This is Yin Yang in California with Morsels of a Thought number 1333. I am in my kitchen corner, and as you can see, I'm stuck in it because my laptop computer won't work anymore. And so we don't have the artificial backgrounds, which I suppose people liked, but that don't necessarily work. This is the book that we're in right now for the Stoics, Meditations by Emperor Marcus Aurelius of Rome. And we have been in book 9. We are going to read from number 31, Morsels of a Thought, number 1333, number 31 in book 9, Marcus Aurelius, translated, thank you, by Gregory Hayes. Indifference to external events and a commitment to justice in your own acts, which means thought and action resulting in the common good. Let me see if I'm in the middle here. 32. 32. You can discard most of the junk that clutters your mind, things that only exist there, and clear out space for yourself by comprehending the scale of the world, by contemplating infinite time, by thinking of the speed with which things change, each part of everything, the narrow space between our birth and death, the infinite time before, the equally unbounded time that follows. Now that's a very profound way of thinking, because we're putting into our minds, our unconscious minds, all that information right now. And in this information, we get a sense of being connected with the Logos, the universe, God. Number 33. All that you see will soon have vanished, and those who see it vanish will vanish themselves, and the ones who reached old age have no advantage over the untimely dead. Number 34. What their minds are like, what they work at, what evokes their love and admiration. Imagine their souls stripped bare and their vanity, to suppose that their disdain could harm anyone or their praise help them. Number 35. To decompose is to be recomposed. That's what nature does. Nature, through whom all things happen as they should, and have happened forever in just the same way, and will continue to, one way or another, endlessly, that things happen for the things happen for the worst, and always will, that the gods have no power to regulate them, and the world is condemned to never-ending evil. How can you say that? I saw a nice film yesterday called Transformers: Return of the Beast. And I have to say that although it was really silly and had a great childish storyline, it actually kind of evokes the sense of never-ending evil, that without getting together in a team, good can't destroy evil. Without a team, without all being good at the same time. All people, all animals, all things, and all events becoming together, working at the same time. That's the only way to destroy evil. And evil is so powerful that we must team together. Okay? 36. Disgust at what things are made of: liquid, dust, bones, filth, or marble as hardened dirt, gold and silver as residues, clothes as hair, purple dye as shellfish blood, and all the rest. And the same with our living breath, transformed from one thing to another. Number 37. Enough of this wretched, whining monkey life. What's the matter? Is any of this new? What is it you find surprising? Hmm? The purpose? Look at it. The material? Look at that. That's all there is. And the gods? Well, you could try being simpler, gentler, even now. 100 years or 3, no difference. 100 years ago today was 1924. In 1924, my grandfather would have been 24 years old. In 1924, wars wouldn't have happened yet. He was in Shanghai. He was he wasn't even raising kids yet. Let me think. His first child, oh, actually, I think he was raising kids or trying to. They had quite a few stillbirths before 1932. They had quite a few. They had 7 stillbirths. So anyhow, um, he also had children that would only live to be 12. And 100 years ago, um, my uncle wasn't born yet. My mother wasn't born yet. But he had to be good before I could ever be born. Think of that. 100 years or 3. 3 years ago, 1921, my mother left me in this world alone, an orphan. But she had prepared a whole bunch of things for me, and she said goodbye peacefully. So, 100 years or 3, no difference. Number 38. If they've injured you, then they're the ones who suffer for it. But have they? Have they injured you? Number 39. Which means, which means you can have something happen to you and you can fall apart because of the danger and the destruction and the force of the problem, or you can have the same things happen to you and you can be maybe dented a little bit, but you are still powerful and still able to function and move on. Which is it you want? It's the same person doing possibly 2 different things. Okay. That means that when somebody tries to injure you, you are not actually injured. You are not actually injured. You're not actually injured for life. You're not injured for very long. Number 39, we only go to 42 today. Either all things spring from one intelligent source and form a single body, and the part should accept the actions of the whole, or there are only atoms joining and splitting forever and nothing else. So why feel anxiety? Say to your mind, are you dead, damaged, brutal, dishonest? Are you one of the herd or grazing like one? Number 40. Either the gods have power or they don't. If they don't, why pray? If they do, then why not pray for something else instead of for things to happen or not to happen? Pray not to feel fear or desire or grief. If the gods can do anything, they can surely do that for us. Now, isn't that interesting? Because when you're trying to pray for some event, that's a far away thing. But if you're trying to pray not to feel fear, that's an inside thing, internal. Praying to have courage, praying not to feel grief, praying for not to feel desire. That's interesting. They can, if the gods can do anything, they can surely do that for us. But those are things the gods left up to me. Then isn't it better to do what's up to you, like a free man, than to be passively controlled by what isn't, like a slave or beggar? And what makes you think that the gods don't care about what's up to us? Start praying like this and you'll see. Not some way to sleep with her, but a way to stop wanting to. Not some way to get rid of him, but a way to stop trying. Not some way to save my child, but a way to lose your fear. Redirect your prayers like that and watch what happens. Number 41. Epicurus said, during my illness, my conversations were not about my physical state. I did not waste my visitors' time with things of that sort, but went on discussing philosophy and concentrated on one point in particular, how the mind can participate in the sensations of the body and yet maintain its serenity and focus on its own well-being. Nor did I let my doctors strut about like grandees. I went on living my life the way it should be lived. Like that. That's the quote first. Now, Marcus Aurelius says, like that, in illness or any other situation, not to let go of philosophy, no matter what happens, not to bandy words with crackpots and Philistines. Good rules for any philosopher. Concentrate on what you're doing and what you're doing it with. Ooh. Yeah. Yeah, if you're hitting something, are you using a pencil or are you using a mallet? Wow. Yeah. I have to be careful of that because I once made an accusation to somebody online, and it wasn't a very big one, but then I said something else and people started saying something to me, and I said, whoa, wait, what's going on? So I went back to my last sentence, and it turned out it looked like I had made a huge accusation, a huge one, but I hadn't. I had been talking about something in general. And so concentrate on what you're doing it and what you're doing it with. So what I was doing was I was making an accusation to her, but I didn't realize that that was what I was actually doing. And then when I came along with the other statement, it looked like I was hitting this person with a mallet instead of just using a pencil. You see what I'm saying? Okay. Number 42, our last one. Kijiban. When you run up against someone else's shamelessness, ask yourself this: is a world without shamelessness possible? No. Then don't ask the impossible. There have to be shameless people in the world. This is one of them. Same for someone vicious or untrustworthy, or with any other defect. Remembering that the whole class has to exist will make you more tolerant of its members. Another useful point to bear in mind: what qualities has nature given us to counter that defect? As an antidote to unkindness, it gave us kindness and other qualities to balance other flaws. And when others stray off course, you can always try to set them straight, because every wrongdoer is doing something wrong, doing something the wrong way. And how does it injure you anyway? You'll find that none of the people you're upset about has done anything that could do damage to your mind, but that's all that harm or injury could mean. Yes, boorish people do boorish things. What's strange or unheard of about that? Isn't it yourself you should reproach, or for not anticipating that they'd act this way? I'm going to pause for a moment to say, if somebody offends you for the third time for the same thing with the same possible mechanism, then wouldn't you have already figured out that's who they were when they showed you the first time? So there we go. Okay, what he's saying here is, what's strange or unheard about that? Isn't it yourself you should reproach for not anticipating that they'd act this way? The Logos gave you the means to see it, that a given person would act a given way, but you paid no attention, and now you're astonished that he's gone and done it. So when you call someone untrustworthy or ungrateful, turn the reproach to yourself. It was you who did wrong by assuming that someone with those traits deserved your trust, or by doing them a favor and expecting something in return instead of looking to the action itself for your reward. Such as when somebody gives you a favor and you don't say thank you, they have to have it in their heart that they were planning to do you the favor without realizing they could get thanks. That's the easiest way for them to survive in this world. What else did you expect from helping someone out? Isn't it enough that you've done what your nature demands? You want a salary for it too? It's an interesting way of putting it. As if your eyes expected a reward for seeing or your feet for walking. That's what they were made for. By doing what they were designed to do, they're performing their function. Whereas humans were made to help others. And when we do help others or help them do something, we're doing what we were designed for. We perform our function. So this was book 9. We finished book 9. And we shall go on to book 10 in next week's reading of Marcus Aurelius, a Stoic, Stoicism, Meditations. The title of his work was Meditations. I'll read the back cover to you right now. A new translation with an introduction by Gregory Hayes. Marcus Aurelius Antoninus, A.D. 121 to 180, succeeded his adoptive father as Emperor of Rome in AD 161, and Meditations remains one of the greatest works of spiritual and ethical reflection ever written. With a profound understanding of human behavior, Marcus provides insights, wisdom, and practical guidance on everything from living in the world to coping with adversity to interacting with others. Consequently, the Meditations have become required reading for statesmen and philosophers alike, while generations of other readers have responded to the straightforward intimacy of his style. In Gregory Hayes's new translation, the first in a generation, Marcus's thoughts speak with a new immediacy. Never before have they been so directly and powerfully presented. Gregory Hayes is Associate Professor of Classics at the University of Virginia. The cover image was by Emily Mahone. Cover illustration by Ucel, Y-U-C-E-L. Join the Modern Library newsletter by visiting www.modernlibrary.com. Modern Library USA, $11. ISBN 97808296825. Okay, there we go. Okay, old Kinderhook. Hello, John Clark. Good day. Thank you. Bye.